So I saw this video online. Lately, some of the things that I've been watching, they trouble me. They trouble me because I don't understand how the world can view these situations as normal. Let me first start by saying any group, any organization, any membership affiliation that tells you that another group of people are less than human, that tells you that you can do whatever you want to another group of human beings because they don't believe the way that you believe, they don't adhere to the things that you hold to be true, you need to run from that organization. If Allah is God and He is the creator of the universe, you're raping and sodomizing Jewish teenage women is not condoned by Him. No matter what you have in your head, no matter what idea you have lied to yourself to believe. Stop and think for a moment. If you had two children, a boy and a girl, would you condone the boy raping and sodomizing your daughter? No rational person would. It would be outside the realm of common sense to condone that type of behavior. And if your God, and I'm not saying which God you believe in, is the creator of the universe, He did not create all of us so that one group of us would be superior to any other group in this world. It just, listen, if that's God, then you're better off not believing in God. But I'm here to tell you that I do believe in God, and there is absolutely no way that is condoned. That is the definition of the third commandment, which is to not use the name of the Lord in vain. It's not saying curse words like goddamn and Jesus Christ, isn't it hot outside? Even though those things are disrespectful, that has nothing to do with using the Lord's name in vain. When you use the name of God to further your agenda, which has nothing to do with God, that's using the Lord's name in vain. You need to understand what you're reading when you read things. You know, God didn't say, oh man, you know what? I've just freed the Israelites from Egypt, and, I just hope that they don't curse using my name at one another. You know what I'll do is I'll create the third commandment. That's just nonsense. Our God is not a petty God. And when He tells us something, it is for our benefit. It is to make our lives easier, productive, and our lives to glorify Him as God. Using the names, the Muslim teaching, the extremist Muslim teachings that are running rampant in the world right now. The video that I watched, the thing that got me, that motivated me to kind of create this video is you have these young people on college campuses in the United States, and they're holding these rallies that are pro-Hamas. What I would like to do is I would like to stop one of these kids and say, what is it about the teaching of Hamas that you stand for? Because the truth, if they're able to look at the truth, and I think a lot of times we get so caught up in stuff that the truth almost becomes a sidebar. The truth is just something else that doesn't have anything to do with what I am doing right now. Young people want to connect. Young people want a voice. Young people want to feel like they're a part of something. That's why they flock to sea turtles and the forests in California, and some of them flock to these extremist views of genocide. You know, the thing is what these kids don't understand is if Hamas was allowed to become the order of the day, these kids would be the first ones that they would victimize. You're American. You're evil. You are less than human. You either convert to us or you die. That is the teaching of a lot of these extremist Islam organizations. A lot of people don't understand that the spread of Islam was spread through violence. They went in, they conquered a people, and they said, listen, you convert to Islam or you die. Well, that's an easy decision to make if you want to live. You convert. You know, I'm not certain that I wouldn't convert. In public, anyway, oh yeah, you know. And in private, I would worship the God that I find to be more relevant, you know. A God that's willing to reward you with 70 virgins if you'll strap a bunch of bombs to yourself and go into a shopping mall in Israel and blow a bunch of people up. Listen, that God does not exist. I don't care what you've been shown, what you've been taught, what, you know, who you look up to. That God does not exist. There is not a God that is up there pimping out women for the sake of suicide bombers. That is bananas for you to think that the creator of the universe, the guy who loved humans so much that he set us apart from the rest of the creation. You know, the thing is if you believe in Allah, then you believe that he's a creator. He is a father. He loves his creation. He's not a pimp. He is not up there to provide you with girls to service you through the afterlife. That is crazy thinking. Listen, I understand it, man. This world is difficult. You know, feeling like you belong, feeling like you're sane in a world that has gone insane is difficult. I understand why. You know, young people want a cause. Young people want something to believe in. But if you truly want something to believe in, how about believing in your family? How about believing in honoring your mother and father? How about believing in treating the person next to you the way that you want to be treated? You know what I see in these videos? These young kids, if you believe in something other than them, they get violent. If you say, hey, listen, you have the right to believe what you want, but I have the right to believe what I want, they get violent. There's no winning with this point of view, you know. You know, these words may fall on deaf ears, and they might, you know. The thing is I'm not saying that I have the answer. I'm not saying that I'm just trying to make sense of what it is that these groups of people want. You know, defacing monuments, destroying cities. You know, Portland, Oregon is under siege. Seattle, Washington is under siege. California is being ruined from top to bottom. San Francisco is one of the most majestic cities in the United States, and it's being ruined. To what end are you destroying these cities? What do you hope to achieve by, destroying college campuses? Listen, everybody that lives in the United States can save $1,000. If you hate this country, why don't you leave? Why don't you teach us a lesson and show us the conviction that you have for your point of view and say, you know what? Fuck the United States. I'm going to go and take up with my brothers and sisters in Palestine. I'm going to go and take up with my brothers and sisters in Iran, in Iraq, in Syria, in all of these other places. I'm going to take up with my brothers and sisters in China. Teach us all a lesson. Save up $1,000 and buy a plane ticket and leave. Show us all how wrong we are by, going and making the world a better place in the place that you support. I'm not saying that America is in the right. There is a lot of corruption in our government. Our government has spiraled out of control. Americans themselves, are they selfish? Yeah. Are they spoiled? Yes. Absolutely, compared to the rest of the world. But if you look in the country of Africa, the reason that those countries have not advanced to resemble modern society. I mean, there are villages in Kenya you can go into, and it's like taking a time machine back 200 years. They barely have running water. They barely have plumbing to use the bathroom. And the reason for that is the corruption in their government. Their governments are so corrupt that any dollar in aid that is sent to that region of the country is getting gobbled up by greed. Folks, we are on the cusp of a similar situation, a similar action. I'm not saying that you have to get on your knees and worship God, even though it is my desire that we all do that. But it doesn't take faith in God. It doesn't take belief in a God to treat somebody the way you want to be treated. I mean, when you talk to another person, think about how you want to be talked to. When you take action against another person, just think about how you would want that person to take action against you. And if nothing else, let that, be the measuring stick by which you live your life. it's heartbreaking to think that if we continue for such a short period of time, if we continue this way another 10 years, another 15 years, the whole world could be ruined. The whole world. You know, the thing is I've never, ever had any issue with a person's sexual orientation. But it is mind-numbing how out in the open we are willing to victimize our children. A child, even after they're born, are treated like they're nothing. You know, hey, let's, shoot this kid full of hormones. Let's change him from a girl to a boy. Let's change him from a boy to a girl. I saw a video the other day. This lady says, here's a way for you to open a conversation with a kid. Do you ever feel like a girl? Do you ever feel like a boy? Do you ever feel like neither? How is a child equipped to answer that type of question? The fact that you would be willing to put that information into a child's head constitutes as abuse. Listen, if you kidnap a person and you subject them to all kinds of psychological torture, you can be tried for abuse. A child does not have the ability to understand nor answer those types of questions. And the fact that you would be willing to have that conversation with a child, I'm telling you, it constitutes abuse. We need to wake up, people. We are destroying the fabric of our future. We are destroying our future. To what end? How does it benefit you to victimize a child? How does it benefit you to destroy a college campus in the name of something you have absolutely no idea what you're defending? You know, the thing is if you come into my house and you start destroying my personal belongings, you attack my wife, you attack me, I have the right to defend myself. And if you don't think I have the right to defend myself, then you've already drank the Kool-Aid. You are already too far gone to make a rational decision. That's what you're talking about when you're talking about the situation between Hamas and Israel. Israel didn't attack them. Israel didn't victimize them. Israel was attacked. 1,600 Israeli citizens were killed in one day. If that was your family, you would defend them. If that happened in your town, you would defend those 1,600 people. And that's all that's taken place. Just because now Hamas, which are a bunch of cowards because they're hiding in children's centers, they're hiding in hospitals, they're hiding in places that they know, because most rational people don't want to bomb a hospital. We don't want to bomb a daycare center. We don't want to bomb a children's school, because that's just beyond comprehension. But yet that's where they're hiding. They're taking advantage of the fact that we're rational, or Israel is rational, but they don't care about the lives of those children. And the thing is if you sit there and say to yourself, well, Israel shouldn't bomb that school. Well, why aren't the people in that village chasing those people out of that school for fear that Israel may bomb that school? And I got to be honest with you. When it comes to defending your country, when it comes to defending this country, all bets are off. We have the right to defend our way of life. We have the right to defend our citizens. And if you try to use our compassion against us, then I think that's a horrible mistake. And that's another example of how they are willing to victimize their own people just to reach their evil agenda. Man, I never dreamed in a million years that we would make videos like this, that we would make outward pleas to our brothers and sisters to be rational, to be logical. I don't know. God help us all.